Cold and rainy day. Well, it's cold, but it's not rainy. Not yet anyway. So, in fact, there's rain being threatened such that we're going to cut down at least I'm going to cut down the size of the ride. There's 5 or 6 others going to join me. Pretty strong crowd. And this will be my test. And this is day 3 of the hip pain vlog. Doing better this morning. Well, I'm feeling better this morning. We'll see how the ride goes. Setting aside the hip pain thing for a moment, we were lucky that we did not get rained on. We saw threatening clouds, but we pretty much lucked out. Just to recap a little bit, I started experiencing hip pain about the first workout day after the first race of the season. And that first race was about 2.5 weeks ago. The hip pain I was experiencing was on my left side, on my gluteus medius. During the last half of that race, I got worked over by 4 members of this one racing team that I was on a 5-man break with. I'm thinking that was the cause. Who knows? But maybe it was in combination with some other things that were going on. So the first thing I did was I went to the chiropractor to make sure I was aligned. Because it had been a while since I've been to the chiropractor. And so yeah, it's kind of like taking care of low-hanging fruit. That was the easiest thing to do. The next thing was doing a bit of research and seeing what type of exercises and what kind of stretching would benefit me. Because I was figuring that the gluteus medius was not the actual problem, that it was somewhere else that the gluteus medius was overcompensating for, the work that I did, the stretching and the strength work, was not only based on my glutes, but was also based on other muscles that I thought was going to be the cause. The challenge I was experiencing was I couldn't determine what that other muscle was. Most everything else was feeling fine. The muscle that seemed to be the culprit were my hamstrings. And I've never experienced that before. They were a little more sore than usual. They were certainly tighter than usual. So I figured, okay, so we'll go with that. I was guessing that whatever problems they were having, that the gluteus medius was overcompensating by trying to do that work. So that was stuff I could do. But I wasn't sure if that was going to work, so I figured I needed to get some expert advice. So I contacted a physical therapist who used to be an endurance cyclist. And when I say endurance, she's done the 508 a number of times. And when I say 508, I'm talking 508 miles. And she's been on a number of RAM teams. 4-rider teams. Best I could do, because she's a real busy person, is put me on the wait list. And so today's ride was going to determine if I was going to stay on that list or not. First day of ride, man, I was really hurting, so I went real easy and I went for a couple hours. And the second day, I pretty much did the same thing. Maybe I cut it down to like 75 minutes because I figured that this ride on this third day was going to be tough because of the company that I would be with. I was with 3 others and they all rode strong. Fortunately, I was able to keep up with them. And the pain in my hip, well, you know, there was still little pieces here and there, but I was figuring that was more of going away type of pain. What you're seeing now on the screen is me doing a pull of bubble gum, and that's about 0.75 mile or 1.5 miles, something like that. And it's a low-grade climb, and so pretty much I stayed in the threshold zone all the way up. Fortunately, I was going fast enough where they didn't want to come around me. So there were a number of areas where I was able to do that, and I tell you, there were a number of areas where I was just hanging on their wheel for dear life. I certainly don't want to experience that hip pain again, so I guess I've now just added another set of old guy body maintenance routines to my repertoire. And one of those new routines focuses on hip mobility and stability. Well, when I got done with this ride, I was worked, but I was feeling good, and I was thankful. That was a good, tough ride. There was no fluff. About 4 hours, 60 miles, lots of ups and downs. Those guys never let up. And, you know, other than some remnant pain and a little bit of pain here and there that I didn't expect from other areas, probably from compensation for what was going on with me, I think I'm good. I'm going to cancel that PT appointment. Alright, so this was Hip Pain Vlog 3, and fortunately the last one. Today's Saturday, tomorrow, man, I'm worked. Tomorrow I'll probably just do an easy spin, like on Zwift, something like that. Alright, you know the drill. Comment, like, subscribe. The Cycling Greek.